It is The Riot. Is this podcast real, or is this me living out the final moments of my life in a fever dream, imagining what happened after?
I guess we'll have to find out. And if not, it's weird because then that must be I'm gone too.
Well, it just means that you're a figment of my imagination.
I am your imagination. I am a part of your brain.
I'm telling you, if you read up on Descartes' philosophy and you really start to think about it,
It's actually possible.
It could really unravel your whole world.
It could be. Maybe we are that.
Yeah. Okay. Today on the podcast, you learned about me falling, which, starting to sound old, guys. Hurt my back, fell. I mean, what?
Don't put it in that context.
No, but
it's true.
When you start listening to, you start getting a big picture here, it's like, what's going on with that guy? Is he okay?
That is something to worry about, but it was an accident, and that sounds even worse. It always is.
Grandpa had an accident, okay?
Yeah, Grandpa fell.
All right, kids, and he's embarrassed about it. He doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, you guys listen to hear what happened to him, but I'm not worried quite yet, but you're right. Yet. We're on track.
We talk about a brand new Toyota, which I want one. I'll take it over here. So if anybody wants to, if everybody wants to go together and for my birthday this year. We also talk about Chris Pratt.
Yes.
We talk about AMC's Stubbs A-list program and whether or not it's a good fit for a certain member of the Riot. And
the one who fell. What?
Well, Grandpa likes to go to the movies. He likes the talkies.
The talkies.
The moving pictures.
It's him.
We also talk about Star Trek, Mission Impossible.
Star Trek led to then, I think, an interesting take on CBS All Access.
Oh, man.
So that I feel like is a two-parter. It's not
really
just
need to hear that.
It's not just Star Trek.
And we talk about eating fast food at the White House and cats having apartments. It's a loaded podcast.
You got a lot of good stuff today.
So you guys enjoy today. And I don't just mean the podcast. I mean enjoy
the
today.
whole day. Live the day. Just not as much to where you might get hurt. So.
Yeah. Be careful out there when you're.
That was for you. That was to you.
Thanks.
Take your time. Be easy.
I've been told that I have an issue with something called proprioception, which has to do with your physical understanding of where you are in space, plus sensations for your body. So they say I have a tendency to shake hands too hard or to hug people too hard. And those are all indicators of issues with proprioception. So this could just be one more example.
It could be added to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What?
Nothing. It does add up. It adds up. It adds up.
We haven't even begun to really discuss it yet.
I know, there's a lot there.
I have way more things. It may even have to do with why I talk too loud.
Well, oh no, we can't unravel that one. We're not ready yet. So if you want to check out more, not that more, but just more of the show stuff, you can, of course, find us through riot.radiou.com, Radio U Riot on Facebook, and our Radio U Riot YouTube channel if you've never subscribed to us there.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the Riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I didn't think I was going to be here today.
Because?
Well, it was yesterday, probably about 4 o'clock, that I decided it was finally time for me to kill Christmas. And many of you are like, what do you mean? I took all my exterior Christmas decorations down, but my Christmas tree was still up.
It was still inside Christmas.
Yeah, and I feel like in years past, I've left it up because I've been depressed, whatever. I just want you guys to know that this year, it being up until the middle of January is sheer laziness.
But on, your defense, you set it up later in December than you normally do. So I know some people leave it up a little, you're still hitting the normal amount of time you have it up,
right?
But you just shifted it into January.
So one of my roommates made that case. They were like, look, we didn't even do the tree till second week of December. So just who cares? So I'm like, you know what? Fist bump. Let's leave it where it is and go back to the Xbox. Okay. And so,
but last night you're like, no.
That was it. And so this house has a crawl space in it. And so that's where I chuck the Christmas stuff. And so last night I was chucking stuff into the crawl space and I fell out.
Of the crawl space?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I fell out of the crawl space onto the concrete floor.
Ooh.
I fell backwards with my hands in the air.
Kind of like the,
No. Yeah, but like this.
But like backwards? Okay.
Backwards.
Sorry,
like,
you guys can't see our demonstration.
If you remember an ST plunge, that's the best I come up with. Like falling backwards into a pool, just like,
and then but down on the concrete.
Yes, no one was around for this. I was doing this by myself. This is a true story, and I'm falling backwards. And if you want to know exactly what happened, I was screamed, "God help me!" That actually happened. Even I was just like, what? And I want you to know that I hit the concrete real hard.
Aww.
And you would expect me to be a wreck this morning. Now, last night, I was hobbling around like I was 80.
Yeah.
Not at first. I just stood up and I was like, I can't believe. Like, while I was falling, I had these images of broken leg. Okay, I'm going to have to,
everything flashed before your eyes.
Crawl myself out of here, call for assistance. I'm in the basement. Nobody's coming. I'm all alone here. Like, all these thoughts. And instead, I just got up and I was like, I'm all right. Okay. Well, let's get the rest of the stuff in the crawl space.
Did you get it all in there before it started to hurt?
I did. And you know what? I hurt a little bit last night, but I got up this morning. It's fine.
What if, now just walk with me.
Wait, do you think I'm dead right now? I'm dying on the concrete, and this is all just a vision? I thought about that, too.
No, but you've had back problems the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What if you landed in such a way it took care of the back problem,
Totally.
and now you're going to be feeling great?
Could be.
Could be like, that's the best fall ever.
Yeah, totally knocked everything into place. So I have no idea, but I'm not perfect this morning, but I'm
way better than you thought you'd be.
I'm telling you, it's so funny. I mean, how long did the fall last? 2 seconds, 3 seconds? The whole time, in my mind, I was in the emergency room. I had already called Nikki. I had taken a couple of days off. I was in one of those boots. I had to keep it elevated. Everything.
But you're fine.
I'm fine.
Yay.
I'm fine. So Nikki asked me, how are you feeling this morning? It's surprisingly well.
Very good. And there's a big story behind it.
Surprisingly well.
Friends by Friends Coke Freestyle Machines. We're all friends, right? It's the Riot on Radio U.
So I think it was around this time last year that I just watched a bunch of foreign action films, some from Korea, some from Hong Kong, maybe one from Japan. I think The Blade of the Immortal was Japanese.
Yes, you liked that one.
And then I watched The Villainess, which it's funny. In retrospect, first off, they have a different tolerance for things in some areas than we do. So when you watch an Asian action film, to them, there's certain kinds of violence that they're like, it's no big deal.
Perfectly fine. But there's other things they would never do.
Right.
Where here you're just like, oh, that's normal.
Well, there's some of their violence is just it's you almost can't stand to see it.
It's next level.
It's just awful. And I'm sure they feel that way about things that you and I are just like, what? He punched him in the face. It's no big deal. So watching The Villainess, there were several moments of oh.
So in case you're like, oh, what movie is that? It is violent.
It's
a different level of violence.
It's violent in ways you don't understand. All right. But a Korean.
Stylistically.
Yes, it's
very well done.
It's incredible. There were just moments in that movie where you were just like, what? What?
There's a couple knife scenes where you're like, what is that?
There's incredible moments in it. But Korean action film, I don't think it released theatrically here. I think it just went straight to video on demand.
Yeah, probably.
I don't even know if you can buy a Blu-ray or something.
No, I think you still can through Amazon.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just watched it. I kept getting 99-cent rental coupons through Google Play. And, well,
if you saw
being the big spender that I am.
99 cents was fine.
Yeah.
But if you saw it and you're like, oh, I wonder, would this make a great American TV show? Then maybe you're on the right track.
So they are going to turn this Korean action film into an American action TV show.
Yes.
Okay. The only thing is that when I read a couple of articles about this last night and they described The Villainess, the movie, I was like, I don't feel like...
Was it the best description of it?
I don't feel like the movie I watched and how I understood it is how this is being described in this article. It was enough to make me go, Are we talking about the same movie?
Well, I think it's a different spin on it for maybe you weren't watching it with subtitles or you weren't actually understanding
I had subtitles
it.
on.
Well, no, like I agree.
Maybe culturally I was not understanding the implications?
No, maybe how they're trying to describe it to Americans.
Oh, okay.
To then make the TV spinoff make a little bit more sense.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm up for giving it a shot.
Because it's such a violent movie. It doesn't... It doesn't necessarily translate well for you to be okay to watch it in a TV setting and feel like the person is validated for what they're doing.
In Korean, like, it was weird because you would go from these, like, serene settings where everything is fine. They have no trouble killing characters in Korea either. So you'll be like, oh, I'm sure the dog will be fine. And they're just like, knife attack, dog. And the dog is dead. And you're like, you can't kill a dog. And they're like, oh, we killed 3 dogs.
It's different. It is different. But yes, it's going to be developed into a TV show for America.
Did they say where it's going to show up?
I don't think yet. I don't think they just talked about the production company, but no real news outside of that.
It's the same people that make The Walking Dead. So Skybound Entertainment. We plan to showcase an action-packed thriller series by expanding the world of the villainess, which is, it worked for John Wick too. Just... the more you expand it, the better it gets.
Sometimes don't expand the world. Just bring it back in. Tighten it up.
A little smaller.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of The Riot on RadioU.
So the Detroit Auto Show is going on, which I've got to say, I feel like when the Detroit Auto Show is going on, it goes on for like 3 months. And maybe that's me just not understanding.
I think it also starts off other auto shows or, you just hear the news and they don't have much. So then you hear the news for like 3 months.
So is the Detroit Auto Show like the Golden Globes of the auto show industry?
It kicks off the season.
It starts the season.
Pretty much.
So yesterday at the Detroit Auto Show, everyone got very excited because Toyota unveiled its new sports car.
Ooh.
The
Toyota has a sports car?
The Toyota Supra.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you not? I mean, you've seen Supras before. You just may not have liked them. But heck, man, I'll be playing.
A Supra? S-U-P-R-A? Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I've seen this.
As Seinfeld would remind you, they like to mangle good words into car names. So is it Super? No, it's Supra.
So what's the rough part?
Yeah, so it's the 2020. It's going to be available for purchase this year. And
335 horsepower.
A 50-50 weight distribution.
0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds.
Mm-hmm. And it's only a 2-seater.
It's tiny.
Cool. It is. It's a small car. And you know what, though? Like, it's definitely designed to be kind of a sports coupe. So They have all kinds of things in the car that are kind of the creature comforts that you would like. Because it's unlike a lot of sports cars when they're like, let's be honest, the real exotics, and you're paying $1 million for it, they barely have a seat in it.
Well, because that's what keeps it so light. They're like, you don't need air conditioning or you don't need whatever. Like, everything's taken out.
They have 2 versions. The 3.0 and the 3.0 Premium. The Premium, listen to this, okay? It gives you wireless charging for your phone, a JBL sound system with 12 speakers, and an 8.8-inch navigation heads-up display.
With leather seats.
Well, I
mean, you get all that.
You know what? The only thing I think while watching it is I'm just like, I'll never own this car, but I hope it comes to Forza Horizon 4.
I know, so you could drive it.
That'll be my shot at driving it.
So there's different versions of the base car, and then there's a launch edition special one, which will just be 1,500 cars, red accents outside, red leather interior. So that will be the special one outside of the one that they're going to be selling.
What's interesting about reading up on this car is that I'm not really a car guy, but like there are people in the world that they're looking forward to this new model of Toyota the way I look forward to a new sandwich at McDonald's. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, I'll give it a try.
This is what they love.
I'll pick one up and drive it for a while.
Not buying it, but just like, going and testing it to drive it. But it's a different world. It's a car world.
I feel like, and the thing is, and honestly, like with a car like this, you could make that your everyday car.
You think so?
Because
you can't get anything in that car. It's tiny.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, it is just enough. It's got a trunk.
Yeah.
And if it's just you in the car.
If you like Costco, you're not going to do that. But outside, if you don't bulk shop.
You know, Nikki, like, you and Eric have, like, you've changed. Stop it. Like, this is amazing. I could drive this to work every day.
Okay, you can. Okay.
I totally could.
All right.
Did you see me come in here with anybody?
No, yeah, that's true. You have the room.
Really? What do I need? One seat.
One seat and room for your dice, and that's
this has twice as many seats as I need. That's
is
amazing.
You're right. It's perfect.
The luxury.
It's perfect.
Unbelievable.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So get back to work. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Man, God bless the people at Taste of Home and the people at Food Beast for reblogging them, right?
Because
I love this article because it is right in my face. It's an article about people who get sick and start drinking 7-Up right here.
yes, you always feel a 7-Upper for me was always Sprite,
Okay.
but some sort of lemon, lime, clear soda is what you go when you're sick. Like
Right
that's
away.
that's basically medicine at the beginning.
And this article talks about how, nope, it's not. It doesn't do a darn thing for you. It might.
I think this is someone angry.
It might help settle your stomach. But my thing is, like, it's comfort food. I don't feel good. I got this sugary
Little bubbles.
little num.
Well, they say that it's comforting because you're having sugar. Citrus is a very comforting taste, the carbonation. So if you are sick, you tend to not eat as much and you're a little down and it's a little pick-me-up.
Oh.
So it kind of does help you on that side of it. If you can't eat much, you would always have, 7-Up and crackers.
And crackers.
Yes, that's all you would have.
7-Up and crackers.
Little oyster crackers.
That's
and
how
a little,
I feel better.
Yeah, I remember always asking my mom for that. Like, please, can someone just go pick me up crackers?
We have crackers. Yeah.
So that's what you do.
Yeah, well, according to this article, it does nothing for you.
Well, that's just anger.
It feels
Angry, doesn't it?
The tone of this article feels a little bit angry.
Well, compared to the common cold, they're saying no. Rather than soda, if you have a cold, you're supposed to have water, tea, or a soup broth.
Because soda makes dehydration worse. Okay, can we just say, like, more than likely, if you have a cold, you're probably not facing extreme dehydration where soda is just draining all the liquid out of you.
Pretty much.
I mean, come on.
You should be more worried about alcohol and coffee because, caffeine and stuff, and those drinks can really hurt with dehydration more than I feel like a Sprite or a 7-Up.
So, all right, you know what? I'm going to skip, grandma's cough syrup and just focus on, 7-Up. I'll be fine.
I like this article,
7-Up
too.
and water.
They don't know us very well. They're like, well, instead of 7-Up, how about you have a infused water? It does not taste the same.
It does not.
It does not.
It doesn't.
Fill a pitcher with fruit of your choice, pour water over it, and chill for a few hours, and that'll help.
Yeah, because that's available right now. I just got home from work. I felt so sick. Hey, well, you know what? Just be miserable for the next 3 or 4 hours, and I'm going to get started on your infused water.
You can't put anything else in it either. You have like sparkling, 0-calorie drinks that are all like the really intense fruit flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think infused fruit water would taste similar, but it is not the same.
Even close, dude.
It is boring. So they say sweet, just sip on that all day and you'll feel better.
Oh, you're so much better. Or tea. Warm lemon tea is a great option to soothe your aching throat. Now, I'll say that's for real. Oh my gosh, especially when Nikki and I have to come in to do the show or a fundraiser or whatever, and you've got a cold and those conveniently pop up frequently. Dude.
Tea for days.
Tea with honey. Or what's that other stuff I get?
What do you
Agave.
mean? Agave, yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite as effective as honey, but those do help.
It helps. It just coats your throat. So
Yeah.
we're believers in that.
I'll take that. But you could take your infused water and you could pour it up your nose.
We're not doing that.
Because I don't want it.
We'll stick with still a 7-Up or Sprite, though not clinically able to officially help you, but still tastes good.
I don't care. It helps my heart.
That feeling when you hear that every school in the state is closed, but yours? Now you know how we feel. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Can I just say, Chris Pratt got engaged to Katherine Schwarzenegger. So that means that Chris Pratt is marrying into Arnold Schwarzenegger's family.
I find that fascinating. And I don't know why, but I just do.
Because on some level, Nikki, we all know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is American royalty. think about it. Like, he's so many things that America values. Okay, careful on the first one, I guess, but he's an immigrant. Okay, he came here legally. He made good. And he became the governor of one of the largest states in the country. Plus, he's well recognized. He's a film star. He could rip your head off even though he's old.
All that stuff. But it's a complete package is what you're saying.
And so he's marrying into that family. That's fascinating.
I know.
Like, one day, see, the thing is, like, if I was Chris Pratt, I would be like, you know what? I know this is not traditional, but can I take your last name? Can I be Chris Schwarzenegger?
I would put it in there. I'd be like, Chris Pratt Schwarzenegger.
I'm hyphenating. Yes. Because, dang.
You'd want that name.
I mean, I know, because now he could be like, who's going to be in that movie? Schwarzenegger. Really? Yeah, Chris Schwarzenegger. Aww. He married into it.
That's okay, though.
It's no big deal. But everybody's talking about her engagement ring. I don't normally talk
about this stuff.
We don't, Nikki.
But, Valentine's Day's coming up. People be jewelry shopping.
Oh, yeah. Remember, you don't want to give an engagement ring for Valentine's Day, because if it doesn't work out, you can't get the ring back.
Because it comes still under the gift category.
So they get to keep the ring. So you want to be careful with that. But
great heads up, by the way. Just a great one.
And listen,
you full of hope and love, and
you want to propose like mid-March with a prenup. Just like, here, honey, sign this, and will you marry me? Yay!
Okay, these are things you have to think about.
So, the paparazzi, like they do, been taking photos at a distance, but they got some jewelers involved, and they say that if the clarity and cut is as they understand it, her engagement ring probably cost between $150,000 and $170,000.
Oh, I heard more.
Really?
I heard up to $500,000. Can you imagine? Like, that's a super, super nice house outside of California.
Right, okay,
like in every other state. But in California, like, you could be a normal person.
Right.
Could be starting off totally set.
Okay. See, I felt like it was important that we talked about that. Because I want to give you context for that $150,000 to $500,000 ring and what I have spent the last 48 hours just trying to figure out.
Oh, to contemplate if you should buy?
Like, here's this thing. I'm thinking about spending this money, and I just want you to know that, somewhere someone bought a ring for X amount of dollars, and I want you to know the money that I'm contemplating, because it's big.
Okay, well, I can't wait to hear about it.
Big, guys.
And the question is, did he even have to spend all that money, or was the jeweler just like, no, we insist you take it?
You're probably right. They were like, oh, you're going to be Chris Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, we can totally do this.
Don't you worry about it, okay? We're old friends.
Well, get ready to hear what Obi's thinking about spending his money on.
Yeah. Man, I just get nervous thinking about it, right?
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
Okay. In a world where Chris Pratt allegedly spends between $150,000 and $500,000 on an engagement ring, there's me. For the last 48 hours, I've been in deep contemplation.
Yeah, to buy something?
About buying something. And it's not, here's the thing, like, it's not a something, Nikki. It's about purchasing a monthly service.
Uh-oh.
Now, in order to purchase this monthly service, I am required to make a 3-month commitment.
Sure. That's not uncommon. Do you get something with that, or?
Well, I mean, certainly. Like, this 3-month commitment, first off, if I do it in the next couple of days, they're having a deal where right away I'm going to get a $5 coupon.
Oh, that's some big savings.
Like, just right off the top.
Yeah.
So what would be $60, we're down to $55 now. Okay, because it's $20 a month.
Okay.
There, I just told you.
You told me, all right.
So $500,000, $20 a month.
$20 a month?
It's all economies of scale, Nikki.
So what are you doing for monthly?
Well, here's what I've been thinking about. I haven't been going to the movies because I feel like the movies is a waste of money. But I went to the movies a ton when I did Movie Pass because I had budgeted for movies. Said, okay, this is the amount of money that I'm willing to spend every month to go to the movies, and therefore, like, it's fine. And so a lot of times I don't go to the movies because I'm like, I don't want to spend $12 to do this.
But if you're doing it as your monthly service, then you would have no problem spending it.
But if I budgeted in advance because, I have so much money, $20 a month, which seems like maybe I'm being a little too frivolous, a little too spendy, but I would spend $20 a month and then I would join AMC Stubs.
Yes, okay. So
And
because you
that's-
used to be Movie Pass, and Movie Pass went,
Away.
wrong and went away, even though it's still there.
AMC Stubs program seemed like a huge ripoff when I had Movie Pass. Movie Pass was $10 a month. I could go to the movies every day. I could go to any theater that I wanted to, on and on and on.
But it was such a good deal that it could not
It
sustain
died.
itself, and that's why it just didn't work.
So AMC Stubs Premiere, I believe it is. Or no, it's A-List. I'm sorry. What they do is it's $20 a month. You have to be on for at least 3 months. But you get 3 movies a week. And those 3
pretty
movies,
good.
that's only in AMC theaters. So I have to drive about 10 minutes to go to the movies. It's basically kind of on my way home. It's not
But
as
it's not
convenient
our
as it
normal
was.
movie theater.
It's not. It's not. But it would be something. Okay, when's the last time you and I went to the movies together?
Hardly ever. It's been a while.
February last year.
Oh, yeah. We went for Valentine's.
For Valentine's Day, me and my dad went with Eric and Nikki on their date, and
That's
we all
right.
saw John Wick
too.
2.
That was awesome. I
Yeah.
got the big pretzel that they have there.
That's right. And Nikki offered to share, but I felt bad about eating it because,
No, you should have had some.
I didn't.
It was a big pretzel.
My dad and I split some Reese's Pieces.
That's a good time, and you're right. It's been a long time.
So what I'm saying is that I don't feel like the fact that that's not our theater is probably...
You went there, too. It's not just when I go with you.
No. That is... Okay, there's a theater that's 5 minutes from Radio U. That has been the place I have gone to the movies for years.
Outside of them not being able to pave the parking lot, and they could update a few things, but the seats are super nice.
It
and
is nice.
giant and comfortable, and just we always go there.
So I would drive a little farther to get there, though it is technically a closer drive home
Yeah.
from there
No, you
than the other
should.
theater. And I would go to the movies. And let's be clear, I always go by myself anyway, with rare exceptions.
No, I think you should totally do that. Then you'll go back, because I feel like you miss seeing some movies. You don't want to go see a ton, but you have seemed to be wandering where you just want to go see one or two.
I'm lost and alone.
You are, yeah. So why don't you join it?
So you think it's a good idea?
I think you should.
Does anybody feel like $20 a month is just a little too rich?
It's actually not.
A little too spendy.
It's not.
Like, who the heck is this guy?
You're not
to be spending all that money.
It's not like the ring that Chris Pratt bought, like it's not the same price. It's just $20 a month.
Do you think Chris Pratt right now is on his podcast asking his audience, like, you guys think I should have spent $300,000
Did I spend too
on
much
just a
money?
ring?
I don't know. I think you'd enjoy going back to seeing some movies.
I think I would like it a lot.
Why don't you do it then? Try it for 3 months.
It feels like a real irresponsible, just like, who goes to the movies?
We all do.
Okay, we
We
all
all
do.
do go see the
Okay.
movies.
Who spends that
And you know
kind
what?
of money?
We actually all do. And if we were to look at our credit card statements, we all waste a lot more
Okay.
on a lot of other stuff.
So Shannon says A-List is a great deal. Good luck seeing 3 movies a
Oh,
week.
challenge accepted, Shannon.
Shannon's right. Like, there's no way. I'll never get to 3 movies a week.
But if you would at least see maybe 1 or 2 if you had a free week.
Okay. No, you're right. And I mean, right now there are 6 movies at the theater I would like to see. And before they disappear, can I get there in 2 weeks?
I feel like you've answered your question here.
All right. Well, if anybody wants to sound off, 8772 Radio U.
Does anybody want to go see the movie? Let's go to a movie.
Anybody want to go see Spider-Man?
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Man, fist bump to my budget buddies, right?
Everybody cares about your budget.
We're talking about me spending $20 a month on a Stubbs A-List membership so I could save money going to the movies.
Well, you used to be a
or
movie
just
pass.
go to the movies at all.
You used to be a Movie Pass member, went to a ton of movies. Then with all that drama, you backed off of movies totally.
I did.
And I think you've gone too far the other
far the
side.
other way.
So now you're deciding if you should go back with another movie subscription program.
Okay, so let's see. Shannon says, I have a $15 a year membership for AMC. That is, and she saved over $400. They have like a rewards program. That's what she's talking about.
Oh, that one?
She says the rewards program, which is called Stubbs, is better than A-List. Okay. Shannon says A-List is a great deal. Good luck seeing 3 movies a week. Yes, we heard that. Hannah, personally, I haven't seen any good movies come out until lately. So, yeah, go ahead.
Look at the supportive people.
I like that.
Supportive people. Mostly he really wants to see Spider-Man, Aquaman, any other man movies out.
Mortal Engines.
Oh, Mortal Engines, yeah.
Transformers.
The Bumblebee one.
Right. And There's another one I can't
something
remember.
else.
Alan says, consider $5 Tuesdays while making this decision. You could see 6 movies for $30, and you may not want to see anything for months after. Now, I thought about that.
Alan, good call.
But the thing about $5 Tuesdays is, and this is going to get real, like, Princess and the Pea here, but, you know, I don't always have time on Tuesday.
Okay, that is.
But
you get popcorn.
no, I don't.
Don't you get a free popcorn with it?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you
that
get popcorn.
on $5 Tuesday, yeah, you do.
I mean,
Free
that's
popcorn.
food. That's dinner and your movie. You don't have to eat again the whole day.
You know,
That's
that's a good point. Mark here, I struggle mightily with any monthly service. Right now, it's Music Unlimited from Amazon without fail. If I want to do something, buying a subscription is the best way to kill it. The gym,
is a great example. Very good, Mark.
All right. Brian, who, listen, he says do it, but upgrade your snacking with popcorn with Skittles poured in. Brian from West Virginia.
Brian.
Nikki, look at our history with Brian. He's the one that was complaining last week about falling off his diet, and he's trying to feed me popcorn and Skittles.
Actually, it's a really good idea.
He says he lives vicariously through others.
Well, we can try it.
And Andrew says Into the Spider-Verse was awesome. I'm doing it. I'm going.
Sign up for a movie thing.
Eventually.
No. Now, this whole thing was about you deciding to do it. Are you going to do it?
You know what, Nikki? I'm just not ready to make that
Why
decision.
don't you do it so Friday you can block off some time?
Go Spider-Verse it?
Yeah, before it's gone.
No, I got to see a movie before then because it resets every Friday. So I got to get at least a movie in this week.
Yeah, okay.
Now there's pressure.
Now there is pressure.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the riot. Obviously. Radio U.
Nikki, we got a very, very special message on Facebook this morning. This morning, 12:04 a.m. Eastern.
What do we get?
Okay. It came from friend of the show, Madison, and she says, so my roommate is very ill and has spent the night regurgitating.
Sure. Aw. Well, we don't need the sound. We knew what it was anyways.
I just wanted to note that it sounds exactly like the vomit noises
Like this?
that Obadiah loves to torture Nikki with.
Great.
And I can't stop laughing.
Oh, Madison. Oh, no. Your poor roommate.
What a great role model for compassion the riot is.
Hey, listen, we've talked about this. If you want compassion out of us, if you're throwing up, I'll be compassionate, but Obi can't help but laugh at you.
Oh, I will not be able to help you.
He can't hold your hair back. He can't whatever. He will laugh at you if you're throwing up.
I absolutely will not be able
It's
to
just
be
how
of
he
any
copes.
assistance.
And you're like, oh, it's terrible. The worse it is, the more he will.
I was dating somebody who got very sick, and they were in the bathroom throwing up, and I went in to help them.
See, look, you're even laughing already.
I went in to help them.
Thinking about it.
Okay, I had to run out of the room. And what I found out is that they thought I was running out of the room because I was getting, the sympathy vomit.
Sure.
Because I was getting sick. And in reality, I ran out of the room and shoved my head into a pillow because I was terrified that they would hear me laughing at them. And if they heard me laughing, they would be like, "Here's the worst person ever."
Because that's what you do. You laugh when someone's throwing up. What was that one?
Oh, I'm having a hard time.
You have a new one? Don't think I've heard that one
Throw
before.
it in there. So,
all right. Well, sorry to hear about your roommate.
guys, listen, throwing up is funny. The sounds are funny. The faces are funny.
The emotions.
The running that takes place, the sudden realization.
I like the quietness that comes before the throwing up where you just know like something's wrong in your body. It's like something's really wrong and they just get this look on their face like, well, that's funny.
The contemplation.
The shivers.
It's one of those things like your body is able to do things that you don't really think or know about. And then all of a sudden your body's like, hey, I know that normally you're in charge, but I'll be taking over for the next several seconds.
Possibly the next several days.
You hang on and I'll give you the reins back when I'm done.
Your body's like, you've done something bad and now we're going to go to the bathroom.
So thank you, Madison, so much.
Yeah, thanks for posting that.
For sharing that because... Remember.
We should tell the people who we got the sound effects from, be like, that's spot on.
Just let me tell you what. Fist bump, right? Ooh, I got to wash my hands.
The worst of the riot. It's like Lucky Charms, but no marshmallows. Radio U.
Earlier we were talking about spending money every month on things you don't necessarily need, but what if you really like it and therefore maybe it's okay?
Speaking of that.
Yeah. CBS All Access. Look at all the hands going down. Look at all the hands going down.
I don't feel like they're given anything, but I don't have CBS All Access, so I've never used it before. I know that they had was it The Good Wife, like the spinoff show on there?
Yeah, it was called The Bad Wife.
And then they have...
Zing! It's so funny!
They have Star Trek, the newer show for it. Its second season just started, but outside of that, I'm not sure what else.
Its second season starts... tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the day?
Wait, what's today?
Today's Tuesday.
It starts Thursday.
Thursday.
I'm on top of this, guys.
Got the details.
So, yeah, CBS All Access. You get Star Trek.
How
Discovery.
much is that each month?
$10 a month? Hey, do you want commercials? Are you okay with commercials?
I don't want commercials.
Then you're going to have to pay.
Is it more?
Yeah, that's like the 10. I think it's $10 for no commercials.
Commercials.
So they got that. And, later this year, they got the Star Trek show with Captain Picard coming back.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah. Then they're doing an animated Star Trek show.
Now stop it. Come on.
No, they got one more.
They got, you buy Star Trek, fine. Or you add it the whole time. Stop making stuff.
No. They got another one, Nikki. Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
She is a Chinese actress, very popular, lots of movies. If you don't recognize the name, you would totally know her if you saw her. She was in the first season of Star Trek Discovery. She'll probably pop up in season 2, but she's also going to pop up in her new spin-off show.
Oh, yay!
Coming exclusively to CBS All Access.
Another Star Trek show.
You guys are going to be watching it all the time.
Yes, because that's what you do.
Well,
I mean, you're saving money by just reusing the sets and the costumes and stuff. You might as well do some spinoffs.
Well, and the other thing is, I think that here's what happened. Now, I can't prove this, but here's my guess. I think that with CBS All Access, I think a lot of people signed up for it. And then when Star Trek was over, they were like, I'm out.
Yeah, so they have to keep giving more.
And so now they're like, all right, here's the deal. We're always going to have new Star Trek. Always. That's
the plan.
There's never going to be a time there's not new Star Trek.
Well, then they hope that if they keep the time without it small enough, you just won't bother canceling.
It won't be worth the effort.
That's where I'm dying for numbers. I just want to know how many people have CBS All Access. Can someone, this will be a small market research thing, okay? Can someone text me if you have it?
It's a good call.
And then,
do you have it?
Or actually just say yes or no. So that way I can have more people text me if it's going to be no. So yes or no, does anybody have CBS All Access?
Oh my gosh, you know what's about to happen.
What?
You're about to get texted 400 billion
no's.
And you know what?
I just want to know how many no's compared to yes out of everybody texting.
Here's what I want to know. I want to know how many people have to have CBS All Access for them to make money.
Yes.
Like they're making these shows. But see, the other thing you don't know is they're pushing CBS All Access super hard in the United States. All these shows they're putting on CBS All Access in every other region but the United States, they're on Netflix.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So here, they want to milk you for the extra money. But if you were international, you just get it on your Netflix subscription.
And I think it would get more response in the United States if it was on Netflix, not the CBS one.
Danny, never heard of CBS All Access until today.
Well, there you go, Danny.
Aaron, what's that?
Philip has it. There's
I do.
one. Someone
right?
has CBS All Access.
Brian, no. Chuck, no.
The no's are going to be the predominant texting that we're getting.
Mm-hmm. I just say, again, if you want to watch Star Trek, do you find a way to get Netflix internationally?
Perhaps
is that a thing? I mean, you're paying for Netflix already.
It's not hard to do that.
D says no, used to have it. Tom says no. Jess says nope.
I got it because I got a TV and it just came with several months of it.
Yeah.
Didn't even activate it. Haven't even used it.
Well, give it to me. I'll use it.
Yeah, you can have it if you want.
Watch Star Trek, I guess.
I wouldn't think
Did it come with a little card? Or do I have to have your TV? Just give me your TV. It's fine.
Oh, my gosh. Justin, thank you for the no.
Okay, Rachel says no, but a coworker and husband have it. They use it to watch Survivor.
Okay.
Shame on them. Survivor?
Beth says no. Someone else says why. I'm going to put that down as a no.
Kyle says, nah, fam.
Okay, thank you, Kyle.
No from Beth.
So based on Nikki's market research,
seems like
a predominant answer would be no.
You know what? It might even be something where we shouldn't even talk about shows on CBS All Access. So, like, the fact that we're talking about this Star Trek show, this could be a good heads up that's like...
You're not doing it right.
You don't need to talk about this. Nobody really cares.
Let's see. Phil says absolutely no. I like Star Trek, but will not give in to their forced payment for service. I have cable. All right, Phil. Thank you.
I do wish they would have just put it on CBS. Of course, I'd say it wouldn't have been as good, but I mean, Discovery's not that good. Like, it's good, but like it's not. Yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting discussion. Thank you, everybody.
Yes. Joel says, random question, sorry, but was Lost in Space on Netflix any good?
Actually thinking of watching it after he finishes Daredevil Season 3.
Well, Joel, thanks for derailing the conversation. I loved Lost in Space.
Yeah, you want another season.
I loved it. I think they're making another one, right? I hope so. Jen says we're not their demographic. You're right. We should just stop.
He should be. You should be.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on Radio U.
Everyone together. Memories all alone in the moonlight.
Is this because this is about two cats?
Maybe.
Is that your cat's thing?
You just...
Okay, you want to keep singing or?
No, it's fine. I feel like the moment passed.
The moment's over?
Yeah.
This story has been all the rage since yesterday. And I think the guy renting the apartment is the one who makes out the best in this.
Let's hear what you got.
So if you heard about the story in San Jose, there's a 425 square foot studio apartment that is being rented for $1,500 a month. And it includes a bathroom, a sink, but no like real kitchen area.
Okay.
The guy who's renting it was thinking about putting it on Airbnb, but since it doesn't have the kitchen stuff, he wasn't sure. He then was in contact with a friend, like a parent of one of his daughter's friends. And one thing led to another, and he found two tenants for his studio apartment.
Fantastic. That's great.
Why it's making news is the fact that it's Louise and Tina, and they are cats that are the tenants.
Someone is renting an apartment for their cats.
Yes. So the story, again, when you just read it like that, you're like, this is ridiculous. But what had happened is apparently...
No. Give me details that are going to make it seem perfectly
ridiculous,
logical that these cats have a $1,500 a month apartment.
Now, in San Jose, rent is high. It's going to be expensive. So
they say rent is between... Really, an apartment like this would go more like $1,900.
But this is a
room.
So
it's a real deal.
This is a room.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a studio apartment.
It's a room in, I think, a house. So that's the sort
Sure.
of renting thing that you have. But basically, the cats belong to a Azusa Pacific University student, and that's in Southern California. And that's a friend of the landlord's daughter. And she was leaving for college. At the same time, her father was moving as well to a place where he could not have their two family cats. And she could not take the cats because she was going to live in a dorm and you couldn't have them. So they needed a place to keep the pets until everybody moved back and it all worked out. And one thing led to another. The guy was like, well, hey, can I put the cats in this studio apartment and I'll be over and other people will come check on them and I'll pay you rent. And that's what happened. $1,500 a month.
In the meantime, I'm just really wondering if I should spend that $20 a month. Should I really do that?
This is just rent on another thing. Like, that's not his rent or his daughter's stuff. Like, that's just rent on the cats.
That's just so the cats have a place to stay.
The guy said it really works out great for them. I mean, if you have a roommate, you're dealing with your roommate's issues. So you could have lots of drinking or smoking or just general noise from having people there. These cats don't do that.
I'll tell you what, I've got a great idea. I'll do it for a one-time fee. You give me a year's rent in advance, and I'll take these cats to a farm where they can run
and be free
and play and just be free, and you won't ever have to worry about these cats again.
Again, wink, wink. No, we know what the farm means. We're not doing that. So he has...
Doesn't it sound like a nice place? There's just fields, and it's sunny all the time.
So this guy has the perfect rental setup for these cats, and they just live there in the room with the bathroom and the... It's furnished, too. Like, it looks nice. It's nicer than a lot of people's places I've been in.
That's
the sad part.
On some level, it bums me out.
So if you're hearing the story about the 2 cats that have a nicer apartment than you do, these are the ones.
Yeah. All right. High five, cats. High five. You really got it figured out.
Dear Radio U, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the Riot. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
You know, I saw yesterday that the American Psychological Association, I think it was, they put out a report on toxic masculinity, saying like how it was really bad. We were watching a Gillette commercial earlier that was talking that some people are mad about and some people are celebrating because toxic masculinity, whatever. And it's funny. As a man, can I just tell you, I have no idea how to be a man. I don't understand. Like, because I feel like growing up, most of what I learned about how to be a man was taught to me by movies and TV. It's loaded with terrible examples, but they're not all terrible examples.
No, there's good ones.
There are good ones and bad ones. And so I find myself like not really sure. And it sounds funny, but like I'm old enough that I should have that all figured out, like how to be a man, you know, because men like football and they like hunting and they like rock climbing. And like I should have all that figured out.
That seems like that came from a movie or a commercial.
Think so?
Yeah, I feel like that one did.
Well, it's funny. I like real talk here. They're like masculinity in general, huge point of conversation, right? And it's odd, and I mean this respectfully, but I find in a lot of cases it's women telling men how they should act, which is the reverse of the problem our society used to have. Men telling women how they should act. Like, hey, you were born with this particular, genetic whatever. This is how you must act. This is the standard by which you must be held. So before anybody gets too mad about it, because I've already poked the bear a little bit.
Just let it sleep.
Listen to what I've come out of this with. Is that I feel like whether you're a man or a woman and you find yourself like, I don't really know what this means. I don't know how I should treat others. I don't know how I should expect others to treat me. I don't know how in society I should be conducting myself. Do you know what I've been doing? I've actually been talking to God about it. You see, I have a relationship with God, and he says that if you don't know what to do, that if you ask him, he's going to help you know what to do. He's going to give the wisdom to you that you need. So when I come up on this idea of like, what does it actually mean to be a man? Is it kindness? Is it rock climbing? Like, what is it? Is it shaving? Is it not shaving? Is it whatever it is? What I've found is that God has the answer to that. God is in the process of showing me like, hey, this is how the kind of man that he wants, this is how he's going to act. And whether you're a guy or a girl, I'm a guy. So, when I talk about this, it's mostly focused on guy stuff because, like, I don't know all the girl stuff. But as a girl, you might have similar questions or similar thoughts. And I want you to know that God made you too. And that he's got an idea as to what it means to, quote unquote, be a woman in your circumstances. And let's face it, it might be different. If I lived in the mountains, rock climbing might be an important part of me.
Of your day-to-day man life.
But like right now, it's not, But seriously, all these questions that we keep running into as a society, how do we do this? How should we treat each other? How do we act? There's somebody that cares about all of us, no matter our gender or our whatever, and he wants to teach us how to act, treat each other, love each other, and get along. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you're missing out on an incredible resource. God wants to show you how to live the best way possible. Invite him in. Just say, Jesus, I need that. I need somebody to teach me how to do this because I just don't know what to do. Come into my life. Fill me with your spirit. Show me how to live. And that's a great place to start. You can talk about God, other stuff too, like, God, how do I do whatever. You can talk to God about anything.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
Look, guys, I am not here to get in an argument with you over politics, but I am here to tell you this. I want to get invited to the White House for fast food.
Don't you?
I do. I want to eat a 20-piece McNugget with my feet on the desk.
Yes.
That's what I want to do. I just want to chill at the White House with McDonald's. I've probably told you this story before, but I DJ'd a wedding reception where they catered it with their favorite foods. A pizza place, Chick-fil-A, Chinese food.
I mean, that was the food for the wedding.
It was the best wedding ever.
People now today are trying to make this more like a negative thing, but
I know.
Dude, if there was McDonald's when you're visiting, I'd totally eat it. I'd be excited.
Everybody has trashed so hard the fact that basically, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say that Trump paid out of pocket and just basically loaded up, like when Clemson came to visit the White House because they won the national championship, which happens.
McDonald's pizza,
like all this fast food. He's just like, show up, let's eat. We're all eating fast food. And I would straight up be so pumped about that. Like, yes,
everything.
I love pizza. I thought you guys were going to feed me something weird from the White House, chef.
No.
And I just look at that Domino's, just looking back at me. I love it here. I love it here. Do you guys have a freestyle machine? Because that's all it's missing.
That's the only thing left to have put in here.
I'm at the White House with the president and a pizza and a freestyle machine. Boom.
So, yes, there's been a lot of negative talk, but I don't know who they're talking to then, because we would probably prefer that setup any day over a more grown-up styled White House food presentation.
I freaking love it. And again, I'm not trying to make a political statement here.
This is a food statement.
And I know a lot of people are like, yes, you are. You know what you're doing. Man, you know what? Trump, Obama, whatever. Let's kick it and eat some pizza at the White House, right? I hear is it true there's a bowling alley in the basement? I want to see it. I want to see it. Come on.
While I'm eating my food. Bring my food with me.
Didn't President Reagan have a movie theater? Where's the theater? I want to see it, guys. Let's do this. Let's go take a walk on Clinton's running track. Is it still here?
That is the news. And despite the more negative tone of that today, some people would be extremely happy to be invited to that.
Dude,
any day.
I'm 100% on board for that. And by the way, a lot of people are like, get a home cooked meal. Listen, if you want me to come to your place, let's just get a pizza. I'm on board.
We're fine with that.
I'm in, dude. Or if you just want to hit McDonald's for some nugs and we'll get I'll get a large fry and some soda. Whatever. What about a double cheeseburger at Wendy's?
When is it next week?
I like their fries. They have sea salt for their fries.
Next week is, just as a reminder, is the Big Mac stuff in the bacon fries, remember?
Is it?
I think so.
How many Big Mac coins you got left up there?
Actually, I have 3 spare Big Mac coins that I don't need. So I was thinking next week we can use my Big Mac coins if you want.
Okay.
And go do the bacon stuff.
You're going to have to do that without me because I don't like Big
You don't
Macs.
want a Big Mac bacon?
No, because they have onion and their weird sauce and they're
we get you something else. We'll get you nuggets.
No, wait, to be clear, I'll happily go to McDonald's with you.
Okay,
I have
but you want
zero problem going to McDonald's.
You just want to order something else.
I just don't want a Big Mac.
Okay. I always thought I had to bribe you to go with my Big Mac coins.
I can't remember the last time I ate food at McDonald's that wasn't breakfast. I only ever go to McDonald's for breakfast. If you told me that we were going to McDonald's for lunch, I would get excited about it.
See, like you would if you went to the White House.
Exactly. I can overlook our differences for McDonald's, guys.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's The Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
We are heading into, we're now technically midway through January, which is kind of crazy on its own, but that means that we're headed towards some fairly significant game releases, Nikki, in the next couple weeks. If you care about video games, which you guys know that I do, next Friday, you've got the Resident Evil 2 remake coming out, and then you've got...
Are they done with those movies, it feels like?
No, they're doing a reboot.
They're doing a reboot?
They are. They put out a press release a couple months ago that they're rebooting Resident Evil. Then after that, you got Kingdom Hearts and then Anthem, which I'm super interested in.
Is Kingdom Hearts the one that has been that...
It's the Disney one.
That's the Disney one that people have been waiting on for 10 years.
A very long time.
Okay.
The Kingdom Hearts 2 came out on the PlayStation 2. This is Kingdom Hearts 3. So they completely skipped a console generation, and they're almost to the end of this one. And this game is finally coming out.
Better late than never.
Sure, whatever, right?
I feel like you're just glossing over that fact when you should be like, oh, finally.
It might be more than 10 years.
That's crazy.
I don't know when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, but it's been a really... And the thing is, they re-release those games every other day. They're like, here's a new collection. Here's a new collection. Here's a Game Boy version. Or whatever.
But they're not new games.
No. But for me, the thing I'm looking at is Resident Evil 2, Nikki. I played that demo over the weekend. Mm-hmm. Was it over the weekend or maybe it was last night? It all fades together. But let me tell you something. It's fun. It looked really good. It is so disgusting.
Is it too much?
It is so disgusting.
Can you dial it down? I know some games you can change some of it. You're not able to.
No. I shouldn't be surprised. Why am I surprised? I shouldn't be surprised. But I was playing it whenever I played it, the demo. And you can download it on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC, and you get 30 minutes. So you get the first 30 minutes of the game, and you can do whatever you want for 30 minutes. If you want to stand there for 30 minutes, you got 30 minutes. If you want to run around, you got 30 minutes. But I was like, okay, zombies are gross. I'm not going to say what happens, but let's just say a full man becomes a half man.
So that was the part that sticks in your memory?
That's you see it all.
Yeah, but what do you expect? I mean, it is Resident Evil. If it wasn't gory enough, you'd be coming at us saying it wasn't enough.
I don't know. You know what the thing is? It's I want the fun of running from zombies without the real life consequences, okay?
We like when violent stuff is just not
sanitized.
Yeah, it's just not, it's not totally 100% that way, but, we don't want it to scare you too much.
I don't know. So I don't know if I'm going to
Maybe that was enough. You played it, technically.
I want to play it, but I don't know if, You can handle it. I don't know. I don't know that I can.
All right. Well, we'll let you decide that.
Yeah. So, okay, here's Rachel texting. She said, I played Kingdom Hearts 2 in 2007. So that's 12 years. But she said it had already been out for a while.
So long. So very long.
Wow. I got to look that up. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out 2005. So it's been 14 years since Kingdom Hearts 2. And they've made other games like Kingdom Hearts something on the Vita or something like that.
But this is Kingdom Hearts, the next in the number.
Yeah. And this, so there's that. There's the Resident Evil 2 remake and then Anthem. So
that's the big games for this month?
Those are games I'm more interested in than the stuff that came out before Christmas last year. So I may have hung on to a couple of gift cards. I might be ready. I just got to decide what I'm going to do.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on RadioU.
Something you might not know about the Riot. We like Mission Impossible.
We do. Not I won't go back and watch the early ones. But,
I did.
Yeah, I mean...
I went back through all of them before...
Fallout came out?
Yeah. And some of them have not aged well.
Yes, that's probably why I don't like them.
Dude, those movies are old. They've been making Mission Impossible movies since 1996.
Mm-hmm, but for at least us, I think Rogue Nation is our favorite. Fallout was great.
Rogue Nation is probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It manages to strike, I think, the perfect balance between humor, action, gravitas. It's a good combo. Spectacular movie.
If we want to go see a movie, it's normally that style. It's humorous, like you said. It does have all the action. It's kind of the perfect combination.
It's very well scripted.
People were wondering, since Mission Impossible has been progressively getting better and doing better when it comes out, what would be the next thing?
Well, they have just announced that you're going to get Mission Impossibles 7 and 8. And they are going to be filming them concurrently.
Back to back.
Avengers Infinity War style. So you are going to get, is it 2021 when you're going to get the next one?
2001 2021. And then summer of 2022.
So they are doing 2 Mission Impossible movies.
Yes, and the reason for that is because Top Gun Maverick, which is also Tom Cruise, that comes out in 2020.
Okay.
So they want it to be after that.
Man, this guy's going to be 80.
Well, that's why I think that they're now realizing they're filming them all at the same time, because Tom Cruise is getting older, and
he is.
He gets injured in these movies. Like, it's a tough movie to film, and that's a smart plan.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing. They're doing 2 of them, and I
know. Can you imagine? That'd be great.
I love it.
Now I just have to wait until 2021.
I hope they're good. I did not think that Fallout was as good as Rogue Nation, though I still thought it was a good movie. And it had some great sequences in it. I think one of the things I didn't like about it is that it didn't do what I wanted it to do. That doesn't make it a bad movie. It just means I don't like it as much. Like, there were sequences and certain things where I really wanted them to do a certain thing, and they didn't. And but I mean, you can't argue with like the helicopter sequence. Like, there's so much good stuff, and it's still like, it was really well written.
So it's not just Tom Cruise they're talking about, but also the fact that the 2 will be directed by the
Christopher McQuarrie.
Yes, and they say that he is the main one behind the success of Rogue Nation and Fallout.
Absolutely.
So he's coming back for the 2, and they just have to film them all together.
Well, I hope it is a little more. I hope they're a little more fun. Because I felt like Fallout was not as fun as Rogue Nation was. I'd love to see a little more fun in there, but
we'll see what happens.
If only I had signed up for a movie service that it would allow me to go.
Hey, you have quite some time on this one.
You're right. That's many years from now.
You have a long, long time.
You're right, Nikki. You're right.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Existence is pain.
What?
There is nothing.